fun. Oh, girls just wanna have.
Welcome back to episode 15 of Girls Gone Sports Podcast. Girls Gone Sports. Oh, New York City. Hey, Santina.
Hey, Jeanine.
How are you?
I'm good. How are you?
Good. Episode 15.
Crazy.
I feel like it's iconic.
Birthday.
Literally, it's the quinceañera of all the episodes.
15th birthday.
And then we get 15, then we get 20, and then 100.
Oh, God. What are we going to do for 100?
Giveaway, $1,000 giveaway.
But everyone donates and we give it away.
Guys, the Cash App, please. Everyone donate $1, please, please, please. Well, we're super excited for today's episode. 15 is an iconic number.
Right.
So we have to have an iconic guest.
Like, we have the one, the only.
Yes. Someone from New York City who knows the Knicks best. Yep. He probably has the phone number
one of the coaches.
Coach Dibs. Literally. He's a former coach.
Right.
And he knows everything about New York, the Knicks, and the Bible. So it can't get better than that. It can't get better than that. Well, we're super excited, guys. We are here to introduce Pastor CJ.
Yeah. What an introduction. What an introduction.
CJ, thank you so much for joining us here on Girls Gone Sports Podcast.
This is an honor. I just can't believe it.
Thank y'all for having me here. I'm honored. Episode 15. Congratulations to y'all.
Thank you.
Congrats to y'all. I did a podcast a long time ago. I never made it to 15.
You got it.
So congratulations.
Well, if you upload it now, I'm sure it'll add up to 15.
Right.
It's fine.
I don't think I will make it that far. But good. I'm happy to be here, man.
We're so excited. Thank you for being here. Well, CJ, we're going to ask you some questions, about you, being from New York City, being a Knicks fan, all that kind of good stuff. And it's going to be a great time.
I believe it. I'm hyped. Let's do it.
Santina, I want to go ahead and ask CJ our first question for you.
So CJ, the Knicks, you got to love them, right? Can you share some of your earliest memories of watching the Knicks play?
Absolutely. My number one memory watching the Knicks play 1999. First of all, I'm 35 years old. I'll be 36 in September.
You look 25, so.
Oh, see, I appreciate it. I feel 25. 99 Knicks playoffs. It was the lockout season. We were the number 8 seed. No number 8 seed had ever made NBA Finals. The Knicks would go on to become the first number 8 seed to make NBA Finals. Larry Johnson hit the iconic 4-point play. How old was I? 99. I was born 88. Just had to be May, June 99. So I was about, somebody do the math, 11 years old.
I was negative 2 years old.
I wasn't even
negative. See, that's wow. Man, I feel old. So 99, I'm 11 years old. My father's laying on the bed watching the game. I'm laying on top of my father. My cousin is sitting on the side, just on the floor on the dresser. Larry Johnson had a bunch of hair on his face. This is I'm a Knicks fan. I was paying attention to all the details. Larry Johnson didn't get his haircut before this game. He was super scruffy. And my cousin is on the floor. And the Knicks are down 3. My cousin says, man, Knicks need a 3. Larry Johnson not going to hit it. He got too much hair on his face. Ha, 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 ha. It was a terrible joke. I'm like, watch Larry Johnson hit it. Larry Johnson gets the ball, 4-point play, bang, hits the 3. Wow. I step on my father's face as I run out the hallway. I don't think I had on pants. I think I had on my boxes or something. I'm going crazy. And so, yeah, best memory. Can I give one more?
Absolutely.
One more.
I
actually forgot about this, but the first time my father took me to a Knicks game, I never forget. I felt like I felt like I was seeing superheroes come to life. I'm like, oh, these the guys that's on my TV. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. I think I had to be 9 years old at that point. So yeah, it's been a long time.
It's something so personable and also weird seeing your favorite athletes in person. It's you watch these people on the TV and you kind of build this connection with them, and then all of a sudden they're real people. Yeah, and you're like, well, I could cry.
Yeah. That's literally a feeling. And again, you being 9 years old, I don't think you realize how big they are.
Right.
And I think that's another reason why I felt like, yo, what is happening? Who are these?
They eat their vegetables.
Giants.
Yep. I guess I should start, right?
candy salad.
Candy corn. I mean, it's
Candy
there.
salad is outrageous. Candy corn, y'all nuts, man.
Okay, so CJ,
Yes.
we're talking about this season, right? Tragically, sadly, we were so close, and I'm so proud of how far we made, especially because of all the injuries.
I like how you say we. You're
Thank
part
you.
of the Knick family
She's one of the
now. I
players,
like
right?
that. Yeah.
Right? Literally. I'm the momager.
Players.
So this season, right? The Knicks have had their ups and downs,
Yes.
as a team does.
Yes.
What are your thoughts on
Yeah.
the current roster
Yep.
and coaching strategy?
I love it. There is no other coach that would get this group of guys to where he got this group of guys to. We don't. Well, with the injuries, we had a lot. If we had all our players, we'd be playing right now.
Yeah.
We'd be on our way, and I believe that with all my heart. But when everybody went down, it was just let's see how far this group could go. And Coach Tibbs got our team. No other coach, because no other coach is going to play the guys
Right.
58 minutes,
I know, that's
90,000
crazy.
minutes a game.
That's like the talk, right? I think like Josh Hart even made a comment today, like how people are like, well, that's why there's so many injuries because Coach Tibbs, he just plays. Even Josh Hart, he played the whole entire game a couple
did.
games
I
ago.
love Josh Hart.
Yeah, he's
That's
yeah.
my guy. That's probably my favorite guy, Jalen Brunson. Obviously, we all love Jalen Brunson, but Josh Hart. Anytime I'm playing with my son, he says, "I'm Jalen Brunson. Who are you?" and I automatically say, "I'm Josh Hart."
Yeah.
I could choose anybody. I
like
love
Julius
Josh.
Randle, but it's kind of sad he didn't get to play at
Ooh,
all.
I feel like
I forgot about him, to be honest. Sorry.
Right? Do you feel like CJ? That's when like the injuries kind of like the main injuries kind of started with him, and then it just kind of started going down
Listen,
from there.
I won't go too much in depth in all my stories, but again, I just remember these stories like I'm in the game. I
Right.
remember the game when Julius Randle went down, and I know the feeling in my gut. It's like, dag, that's where it all ended. Because
Yeah.
I believe fully. I actually put a bet with some of my friends that after like watching the team, I'm like, we're going to the finals. And then Julius Randle got hurt. I was like, I just slammed my whole. That's it.
Yep.
That was it. So
That's
yeah.
the knife in the heart moment.
Yeah.
I like him though.
I
Okay.
love Julius.
So game day, right?
Game
So
day.
like like a lot of people, they wear like the same socks each
Yep.
game because they're like, oh, we're gonna win if I wear these.
Yep.
Do you have any like game day rituals or superstitions when you're watching the Knicks game?
You know, I don't like to consider myself superstitious, but the way I look, the more I look at it, I am.
Yeah.
So I'm watching the game, especially in the playoffs. In the playoffs, I have to stand in the same spot, right? I'm standing
Okay.
in the same spot. I don't like anyone else necessarily. If you're not into the game, I don't want you around me because then I feel like an idiot when I'm doing my superstitious things. Like this year, I had to jump and touch my ceiling. This sounds nuts, but I had to jump and touch my ceiling 25 times, like repeatedly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, all the way to 25. But the last time I hit 25, both palms has to touch the ceiling. So I have to jump with all my might to make sure both palms touch the ceiling. And I have to do it anytime the team needs a big bucket or a stop. And it was working. And it's probably why my sciatica is messing up now. I was doing it so much.
You're one of the injured players.
Literally. See, we really are a team. I didn't want to
But
list.
what would you have
for my
done
boys.
if your ceiling started like that, like started coming off?
A couple of times I thought that happened. I thought like literally because I get so hyped and I'm
Right.
just slamming. I'm like, oh, I felt like something like part of the ceiling? Part of the ceiling come off? Did it come down?
Just fix it after the playoffs.
That,
Not right now.
you know what? All for one for all. You know,
Yeah.
we if the ceiling breaks, it breaks. If he
Right.
dies, he dies. Right? That's how
Amen.
it goes. That's how it goes.
Well, CJ,
Yeah.
I know we talked a little bit kind of about like your favorite players, kind of favorite moments. So if we're going to rewind to the Patrick Ewing
back.
days. Yeah, circle back. We love to circle back. here.
90s.
That's that's how you say his last name, right? Ewing?
Patrick
Right?
Ewing.
Ewing, sorry.
Ewing.
With the Spanish and the English guys, it kind of mixed up.
How did you say it? Say it again.
Ewing.
I would have said E-wing,
Ewing.
North Wing.
Patrick Ewing.
So
I like it.
him and also like the brief Linsanity era,
That was fun.
right?
That
That was
The
fun.
Knicks, they've had so many memorable periods. Which era of Knicks basketball is your favorite and why?
The era I gotta go before now. Like right now for me is super special. One, because we've been trash for so long, and I can say that as a Knick. Anybody else say Knicks are trash and you're not family, is an issue. But we've been so trash for so long, and the fact that my childhood, Knicks were really good. Right, coming up, I told you the story about stepping on my father's face. After junior high school, from junior high school for me, which was about 2002-ish, 2001, from about 2002 till pretty much now, Knicks were trash. That's my whole adult life. And it's super special that now my son is born and he's understanding basketball. Now his childhood, the Knicks are gonna be good.
Right.
Hopefully he doesn't have the same experience I have. That when he gets to junior high school, they're trash until he's 36 years old and got a wife and kids. And steps on his face. Exactly. But so right now, super special. But that 99-ish team, that Larry Johnson, Allen Houston, Latrell Sprewell, Marcus Camby. This is when Patrick Ewing started being on the older side. Yeah. But that was a special. So between then and now, and I can't choose. I'm thinking now with like 2013 when I was in college where we had like 2 good years, and Carmelo. That's when a lot of people in this generation started getting on to them.
Amari Stoudemire.
We had the whole Stat and Mello. Remember your whole Black and Yellow? There was a remix that came out, Stat and Mello. It was crazy that era.
Remember?
Yeah, we were there.
Yeah, y'all wrote it. Man. Nah, that was. Again, you asked for one. I can't choose.
It's hard, especially when you're so like attached to like a team that like you feel bonded with like from childhood to now. Yeah, it's hard to like actually like anchor and like sit down like what truly is my favorite memory or my favorite like era.
You can't pinpoint it. You just go to every era and just I remember what it felt like the era. Even when they were trash. Like I remember what it was like rooting for. I'm gonna say a guy's name. You have no idea who he is. But I remember what it was rooting for LeVar Postel and thinking he's the next Kobe. I didn't think he was the next Kobe, but you're trying to manifest it.
Yeah, he was my neighbor, I think.
Yeah, he was your neighbor. He's probably your neighbor now. He didn't last in the NBA long. I think I saw him around the corner at McDonald's.
He's like Cutlets from the Giants.
Yes.
Tony Cutlets.
Yes.
He didn't last so long.
Yes.
Oh, my God.
So... Now, like the current Knicks players, who do you think has the most potential to become like a franchise legend, and like like what makes them stand out to you?
Without a doubt, it is Jalen Brunson.
Woo!
Without a doubt, man. And I think it's everything together. I think it's the fact that he was a 2nd-round draft pick coming out of college. There's montages now of when the Knicks signed him. Everyone was like, come on, it's Jalen Brunson. Like, who do you think this guy is? Jordan? Who do you think he was? LeBron? KD? Is Jalen Brunson. This is the saddest sweepstakes ever. I'm like, he's going to be okay, but he's not going to get them. He's not going to win them a playoff round. And the fact that he's, even the money we signed him to, like, they gave this guy $100 million. Like, what are we doing? And now it's like, man, this guy deserves $300 million, first off. And he's making everyone who talked bad about him look terrible.
Yep.
And we know basketball watchers, people who watch the Knicks over time, people who are in tune with the city, this the type of guy that like you see the fans outside after the games. Like this the type of guy in a team that the fans rally around. So Jalen Brunson, without a doubt,
he is just like incredible.
Yeah,
the 40 points like every game,
back to back.
When you think he's out, he's back in. He's unstoppable. I love Jalen Brunson.
Yeah, and he's not super tall. He doesn't jump super high. He's not super fast. He just gets it. My favorite word to describe not just him but the whole team, but especially Jalen Brunson. He's a dog. He's just he's big dog. I love those type players, man. And I'm taking him over everybody in the league. He's the hot take. Jalen Brunson is the best player in the NBA right now, without a doubt.
I love him. CJ, I'm gonna jump on that with you.
There we go.
I love Jalen Brunson.
There we go.
And he's just funny. Like I watch, like he has like a podcast too, or like some kind of YouTube show.
The Roommates.
He's funny, and he's just like, how old is he? Like 24.
He's 25, 26. Yeah.
Like,
how long has his dad been a coach?
Ooh.
His dad has been coaching for a long time. He coached high school. He coached college. But he just came to the Knicks.
Yeah, I was
about
gonna say.
2 years ago. The Knicks actually got in trouble for that.
Really?
Yeah, so it's a whole behind the scenes thing where it's like you get fined for tampering. So the Knicks were really trying to get Jalen Brunson, and one of the ways to get him was to get his father on board. So he kind of brought his father on board before we had the green light from the NBA to talk to coaches. And so we kind of,
I love that his dad is like the assistant coach.
Do you think like he pulls him aside and just yells at him?
Oh, absolutely.
I'd be like, no.
I'm like, I need to talk to my dad. I need to talk to my dad. What's for dinner?
Oh, listen.
Can I have $5 for popcorn?
What's for dinner is great. There's a couple of times during the game where Jalen Brunson was like complaining to the refs, and his father just shut up, play the game.
Sometimes when they're yelling at the refs, I'm like, can you not?
Yeah,
you look bad right now.
Yeah. I went to a game in Toronto, and we weren't sitting too far from the bench, and I was able to like scream out to Rick Brunson, Jalen Brunson's father. I'm like, Rick Brunson, thank you for Jalen.
Oh,
he was like, you're welcome. And it's just everything, man. New York is
cray. New York is special.
Yeah,
we're gonna talk about that in a couple minutes.
Oh, let's do it.
So we're gonna talk about like current roster. Jalen Brunson, right? We agree that he has the potential to like be a franchise legend.
100%.
But right now, CJ, who is your all-time favorite Knicks player, and why do they hold such a special place in your heart?
It's hard not to be prisoner of the moment right now. It's so hard not to be. It's so hard not to say Jalen Brunson,
right,
or Josh Hart. Like these, like what's even like I gotta shout out Julius Randle, man, because he was when nobody else wanted to come to New York because we were trash and we was the laughing stock, and in every movie you watch, they was joking on the Knicks. Julius Randle came, and we really started turning the corner when he came. But historically, oh man.
Even top three. I know it's hard, especially with so many
three,
years. And
Patrick Ewing, because Patrick Ewing, talk about if Patrick Ewing was on this Knicks team right here, talk about dogs. And back then in the NBA, they let you fight a little bit. And Patrick Ewing was that type. So Patrick Ewing, Sprewell. Latrell Sprewell, man. I never forget when Latrell Sprewell came. He got traded from his team because he choked his coach.
Me.
He choked his previous coach. They ain't want him no more. So
he's crazy enough for New York. We'll take him. We'll take him.
Exactly, dog. Another one. So Sprewell. I remember Sprewell. Again, I won't go too much into stories. Sprewell used to have this dunk on the fast break. He cocks it behind his head and bang it, and they were like, the tomahawk stuff. And so, again, I'm young at the time, so I used to put my mattress on the floor and just jump on the bed, just scream the tomahawk stuff all the time. So, Sprewell, and then I got to go present day. I got to go Brunson Hart to hold. I'm looking at your shirt. Jeanine has on a New York Knicks shirt right now. All of the I got to go the whole squad right now.
Speaking of the whole squad right now, DiVincenzo for me.
Big Brad Ghoul.
He has been like, I feel like it's like a word. It's kind of like, he's kind of like a ghost.
Yes.
Like a man in the night. Like you don't think he's coming until all of a sudden you're like, where's the ball? And you look and he has a 3-pointer.
Right.
He's just, boom.
That's so true. That's true. Quick release. He's a crowd favorite right now. He's another one. We signed him. People were like, why they signed Dante DiVincenzo? And now, we love him. Big Rad Good. That's my guy. I love him.
Love him.
I like DiVincenzo.
Love him.
I feel like everybody, if you're not a Knicks fan, like you still have like a little piece of you that like you're like, well, I kind of want to be a Knicks fan, right?
Yeah.
So how would you describe like the culture of Knicks fans, or like compare them to any other like NBA like fan base?
New York Knicks fans are unlike any other fan base in the NBA to have ever existed at any period in history.
Right.
Like Knicks fans, like we're as close as you get to you see the soccer, what they call it, football international soccer. Those fans go crazy.
Yep.
Knicks fans are that. Yeah. No other. And you look at the NBA right now, like the NBA, to be quite honest, it's kind of boring when the Knicks is not in it.
Yeah.
When the Knicks are in it, like the fans are outside, it's crazy. It's the dumb chants. We get ridiculous. And then other fans look at us and be like, why are they doing all of that?
They're so jealous. I feel
super jealous.
I feel like when other teams like the Celtics, or the Pacers, when they try to do that, it's not the same. It's not the same heart.
Yeah.
It's like all about the culture. The Knicks are for the culture.
Right.
People don't get that.
That's what it is. And people say, they didn't want to. They won one game. Why they acting like this after one game? Knicks fans, we say this all the time. If the Knicks were to win a championship, the city would literally burn down. I know it would because I'm burning some buildings down myself, and I'm just one person. The city would literally burn. You haven't you've seen us celebrate a playoff win. You've never seen us celebrate a championship. Nobody knows what it looks like to see Knicks fans celebrate a championship.
Yep.
I think that's the reason why we couldn't win this year. I don't think God was like, no. God was like, no.
He's like, a couple years.
I can't have Gotham City right now.
Exactly. And that's what would happen if they. So yeah, Knicks fans is just, we passionate though.
I love that.
That's the number one. We super passionate. When we lose, it's so hard for me to sleep. Like I'd be about to tear up, cry. So we're super passionate, super knowledgeable.
Yeah, so true. And I would rather be part of a passionate fan base that acts absolutely crazy and goes hard for our team than just be like, oh, they won.
Yeah.
Like my Rockets. Literally
You're
have
a
not
Rocket
watched
fan?
it. I just chose them. I haven't ever watched it.
How did that happen? I'm curious.
Well, I chose the Jaguars for
okay.
football.
Oh man.
The
we got
Rockets.
to talk about your choices.
I think I did it because of the cheetah, or the Jaguar.
Oh, you like the animal.
And then for baseball, I chose the Rockies, the most random
Colorado.
team. Yeah,
that's wild.
So I'm jealous of your guys' fan base.
Man,
CJ, are you a Yankees fan?
I am.
If you had to choose one,
and I'm always careful with the word fan because I know how I feel about the Knicks. So I'm not that with the Yankees.
Right.
Yeah.
But yes,
you support
Yankees on my team. Giants on my team. I'm New
Love
York,
that.
everything, and I don't do nothing with Ets. No Jets, no Mets, no Nets. It's all
Hey, I love that.
It's the Knicks, it's Giants, it's Yankees. That's what we doing this
CJ, I love that. Yeah, and I just to kind of go back real quick to how we talk about the fan base and the craziness. I feel like the reason why I'm so attracted to the Knicks and the celebratory is because the Bills fans, we do the same thing.
Bills Mafia.
When we win, right? Go Bills. We get crazy, and I love it. I'm like, I'll jump through a table any day.
Yeah,
it's
fun.
Let's do it.
I can't wrap my head around the jumping through a $200 table.
Oops, Klarna Afterpay. I don't know.
There you go. When I was buying Knicks gear this year, I had to think, am I willing to rip this?
Yeah.
When I went to the Knicks playoff run last year, I was outside with all those fans going crazy. I went home and I didn't recognize my whole shirt was ripped in half.
Ooh, yeah.
And so when I'm picking out gear, I'm like, do I want to pay $2,000 for this shirt and then go get it ripped outside? I gotta choose carefully. So yeah, now you
do Temu for that.
There you go, Temu. I looked at Temu for Knicks gear. They didn't have no. We got to talk to China.
Well, didn't no, we got to talk to China.
Hello. A bunch of Knicks fans over there.
Jeremy Lin, man, what's up?
Well,
man?
wasn't there a video of someone burning a Jalen Brunson jersey, stomping on it, or was it another player?
That was the old hater, Paul Pierce, who's a Celtic alum. He lost a bet during the Knicks playoff run where if the Knicks won, he had to wear a Knicks jersey, and he did. And then when they lost, he was like, "Yeah, I'm taking this off. I'm stomping on it." So that's
why not at least
just
sell
put
it
away?
Yeah, sell it or put it away.
There's a thing, and hey, y'all kind of on the wave right now. There's a thing, right, in the media space. So Paul Pierce also does a podcast right now. There's a thing in the media space. It's called Knicks for Clicks. So anytime you talk about the Knicks, people, because our fan base is so passionate,
right?
Good or bad, we're gonna flock. And so he's like, you know what? I'm gonna stomp all over the jersey, and of course, we're talking about it now.
Right?
It's Knicks for clicks. This is what happens. It's a real thing. Hopefully, y'all get some of that Knicks for clicks.
Yeah,
after this.
It's
episode.
The family drama. It's you tell it to one person, and then all of a sudden, everyone in your family knows.
Yeah,
it never stops.
You know what? The Knicks fan base is kind of like the Beehive. Or
Beyonce,
or what do you call Nicki Minaj? The Swifties,
yeah,
the Swifties for Taylor Swift, the Barbs for Nicki Minaj. You say something about the Knicks, and we on you.
Yep,
and we not letting go.
You guys have players who choke coaches. I would never say anything. Please. I didn't say it.
I love it.
It's on Twitter. It doesn't count. Please.
If it's on Twitter, it's official. I'll believe it if it's on there.
There's so many media talking heads, personalities who say something about the Knicks, and then they come back on air the next day. They listen. This is what I was trying to say.
Yep.
I apologize. Knick fans, we get at everybody
as we should be. Well, CJ, you're from Brooklyn.
I am.
Right.
I'm from Brooklyn.
And There's no place like MSG for
It's
a basketball
not.
game. Can you describe what it feels like to watch a game there, especially, during intense moments? And how does it compare to just watching a game at home?
Listen, being in the Garden. See, it's crazy. I feel it now. You kind of get like, it's chills. Like, sometimes you can feel that energy through the TV sometimes. And you hear people talk about it, and they're like, "Man, there's no place like being in the Garden is just this chills. It's deafening. You can't hear. The floor is shaking.
Yep.
Like it's the Garden, and the ticket prices are about $1 million per because you're paying for all of that.
Just call Spike Lee.
Just call Spike, right? I don't know what kind of deal Spike signed, but that man rich. But it's just. It's hard to describe.
Yeah.
And again, especially in a big moment, in a big game, it's no place like it.
I love it.
There's no place like
Have
it.
you ever been, Jeanine?
I've been to the Port Authority right next to it.
Shout out to Port Authority, man.
But I would love, that's like, I think next season, I would definitely love to make a trip down there. Because why not?
Yeah.
Why
Got it.
not? Like,
You
it's
got
like,
to.
like the difference between watching like a football game at home versus watching it like in the stadium. It's like you feel it in your bones. Like it's like
They
the
draw
tingle.
on the courts.
I know, I'm looking. Where are the flags? And then, but it's different. It's like you're around other people who are like you, and you connect to them in the sense, even though you have no clue who they are, where they're from. You just know that you both share the love of that team, and it just makes it so intense.
It's instant.
I love it.
Instant family, and like even I'm just sometimes just wear my Knick gear out here, especially when on a playoff run, and we spot each other from like, yo, what's up? What's up? We start talking like we knew each other for years. It's
I love that.
But yeah, being in the Garden is different.
Yeah,
That's
and
all I can
you're
say.
not
It's
going to hear
different.
anywhere else go defense.
Nah,
Louder.
Nah.
Even on
Yes.
TV, it is loud,
Yep.
and I love it.
Yep.
I love it.
Yep.
I went
And-
to.
Go ahead.
No, you can go ahead.
No, there's even sometimes it's not. You can if you can't get in the Garden because the Garden is $1 million per
Right.
ticket, right? James Dolan, we got to do something about it. Hopefully, James Dolan hear this podcast. He's the owner of the Knicks, and he lowers those ticket prices. But what I do sometimes, and what I did last year during the playoff run, I'll go to the watch parties, which like right across the street from the Garden,
Right.
And the energy in there is still immaculate. And as soon as the game is over, you go meet up with all the fans coming out of the Garden.
love
We
that.
all meet on 7th Ave. It's
Just everybody out
insane.
there.
Can you bring chairs to the watch party, or do people just stand?
It's in bars.
Oh, I thought it was literally like in the street.
Nah.
chair.
Listen, if we make the championship, they will have a watch party in the street. All rules are off. But these are typically at like the sports bars and stuff that's right there.
Yeah.
And you pack those out. They had it at 40/40 Club. You pack it out. Knick fans everywhere. They got the DJ, the big TVs. It's nuts. Everyone.
I love that.
It's nuts. Yeah. Yeah. So if you can't get in the Garden, get next to the Garden.
Yeah.
There's a Macy's. I know.
There's
Right there.
Macy's right down the street.
First,
There
second,
is
third
Macy's.
level.
There is Macy's with Knick billboards all over it.
I love it.
I went to a Knicks game when I was like 16 at Madison Square Garden. I like thinking now I didn't appreciate like everything around me while I was there. I was like, oh, well, I'll take the nachos. And I think my brothers were getting annoyed. I'm like, wait, but who's that? Because I couldn't see the back of their jerseys. And then I'm like, wait, what's happening? But it's really cool.
To be fair, when you was 16, we were probably trashed in.
Yeah.
So it probably there
it
is a
didn't
different
look
feel.
as sold out as it does now.
Yeah.
Were the tickets cheaper back then, you think? Or
Oh,
they were-
listen, when the Knicks sucked, I used to, dag, I feel so old saying this. When they sucked, me and my boy, they used to sell, you could get like $10 tickets in the newspaper. So we used to get the $10 tickets for the nosebleed seats, but the building was so empty. We used to go all the way down. I remember one time we were sitting right behind Fat Joe and Magic Johnson.
Oh,
and
my
the security
God.
guards, because the Knicks sucked, they was
Yeah.
like, hey, man, we'll let y'all sit here, but if anybody comes, just give us no problems. Just go. We're like, yeah, we'll leave.
Right.
And so
That's
that's how it was when the Knicks sucked. Now, good luck. It's not happening.
Yeah.
It's
Did you
not
try to
happening.
sing for Fat Joe?
Nah.
That was your one chance.
I was trying to be, I don't know why I was trying to be cool, but I was trying to be cool. I was trying to act like I belonged there. You didn't want to act like you didn't belong in that area. So,
Oh my gosh.
yeah.
Well, your guys' Knicks, right? I think overall they did really, really well. But
Indeed.
like all teams, they had like high highs, low lows. Can you describe a couple of those?
Oh yeah. So some Knick fans are gonna hate me for this. I our lows when I don't want to sound mean, but our lows when we had he's not a bum. But my strong feelings as a Knicks fan would make me say RJ Barrett was a bum. And I just didn't like RJ Barrett. I didn't like RJ Barrett. I always felt like yo, here's the thing. I didn't dislike RJ Barrett. I felt RJ Barrett was a sixth man. He was best coming off the bench. I felt if the Knicks ever bought RJ Barrett off the bench, and bring in somebody who can actually, as a starter, we'd be way better. A lot of Knicks fans would disagree with me. The minute we traded RJ Barrett, I texted one of my group chats and I was like, the curse is lifted. Like, he's gone. He's out of here. And we brought in OG Anunoby, who was I'm like, this guy is a starter. This guy could play.
Yeah.
And everything turned. Before we traded for him, we was on a 3 or 4 game losing streak with RJ Barrett, and shout out Emmanuel Quickly. I love Emmanuel Quickly. They was both they was both playing, but I'm like, this ain't it. The minute we traded them, we went like 15 in a row. We ain't lose all January. It was nuts. But that was probably the low point of the season, other than all the injuries.
Yeah, when so when you're watching like on TV and you see like the people like in the tracksuits wearing the Knicks, so those are like the backups, right?
Correct.
How often like do they ever even like see the court, like playing time?
Oh, we was one injury away from all of them getting the game.
Suit up.
Their day was coming. Their day was definitely coming. It was very rare, especially with Tibbs. It depends on your coach. Tibbs don't play rookies or guys that's not in the rotation. That's why all our key guys typically play 49 minutes
right,
a
sweating
night.
on the court. And
Exactly. So it's those guys rarely play, and they know they're not
How
playing.
much do they make, you think? Like, is that their job? Or do you think
Is
that like their extra job, or is that like their like job?
No, they still make. There's a veterans minimum in the NBA. So if after you play a certain amount of time, I forget what was it, 3 or 4 years or something, you can't make less than like 500,000 or 700,000 a year.
Sign me up.
Like,
Jeanine and I auditioned just to sit on.
Like, it's nuts. And those guys, a lot of those guys are on like 2-way contracts or 10-day contracts. So you might sign a 10-day contract for like 50,000 or something like that.
Oh my God.
You might not never play. But people also know you don't get paid necessarily just for the game. Like, yeah, it's the game check, but you also get paid to show up in practice. You get paid to show up. So those kind of things are still a job. But yeah, like, they get paid. Ball boys get paid.
Yeah.
75,000 a year or
Do
something
they
like
have
that.
the voluntary workouts like they do for the NFL?
What? Oh, you mean when people just get to come in like kind of try out kind of thing?
Or like, no, like, so for the NFL, they have voluntary workouts where it's like kind of like the start of the season where you can like volunteer to come and start working out with like your team and stuff like that.
I
did not know that was a thing. I did not know. I know they have open practices like every now and then where people come watch. But
I love that.
Run the stands.
I'll go on the elliptical. Where's the elliptical?
I didn't know that was a thing.
Yeah.
I didn't know that was a thing.
Well,
Wow.
CJ.
Yes.
Right.
Jeanine.
You, as we want to...
Hey, Jeanine, ACJ.
Coach. As we want to... You, CJ, you have many titles, right?
Yes.
Son, brother?
Brother. Oh,
Father.
6.
One of the... Oh, good. Congratulations.
That's a whole team right there.
Right? That's a fact. That's a fact.
One of the most important ones, pastor.
Yes.
Right? We want
Yes.
to honor that here. So, if you had to compare the Knicks' journey to a story from the Bible, which one would it be? And why?
That's a really good question.
First thing that came to my head, man, not. All right. Let's go this year. Right? Let's go this year. There's a story in the Bible of Gideon. Right? The story of Gideon where he had a huge army. This was the Knicks in January.
Yeah.
We had all our ducks in a row. Mad people, mad strong. Like, oh yeah, we about to crush it. Then God told Gideon, nah, that's too many. We're gonna cut that number down. And so Gideon lost a whole bunch of sent a bunch of the guys off, and it was down to, I forget the number. So say he started with 10,000, cut the number down to about 1,000. He's like, how's this? I was like, nah, still too many. Like, dag. All right, so he cut it down more. So it goes from like 1,000 to like 9. I'm mixing up the numbers. From 1,000 to like 600. I was like, no, still too many. Like, oh my gosh. Like, we're about to go up against these this army like mad people.
Right.
He cut it down again. He said he cut his number down to 300. God was like, that's enough. So he had 300 versus all these armies with like huge amounts of numbers. And so for the Knicks, I feel like we had a whole army. Guys like, nah, I just gonna go to over 300, and they're gonna play 48 minutes a night. Yep. They're gonna be dogs, and they're gonna be warriors, and they're gonna be led by Gideon, aka Jalen Brunson. But Gideon and them, when they win. But our win is coming. Our win is coming.
I love that. I kind of think about CJ, the last book in the Bible. Don't tell me what it's called. I know it. What's the first letter?
R.
Revelation.
There we go.
Nice.
Where it's kind of like. It's like once the one. Now, forgive me if I say something wrong, guys.
You're forgiven already. You're already forgiven.
Amen. Once like the rapture happens, then people are going to realize, oh snap, like God is real.
Yes.
This is it's kind of like not to compare God like as Jalen Brunson, but being like, oh no, the Knicks, no, I don't gotta worry about them. They're trash. And then all of a sudden they're good is when you realize like. Oh snap! The Knicks have been good all along. This is my time. And you're like, well, you weren't here for.
You wasn't with me shooting in the gym.
Yep.
Yes.
Yep.
I agree, and I think it's already started to happen with Jalen Brunson. Like we talked about the story earlier. When everybody like Jalen Brunson, and now everybody like Jalen Brunson.
Yep.
Like he's the man.
fake.
Let's compare his stats to Michael Jordan.
Yep.
Let's compare his stats to. So it's happening, and it's going to continue to happen. There was a famous clip from this year. Becky Hammond. Former WNBA player, ends up becoming an WNBA coach, winning championship and all of that. She had the quote of the year on Jalen Brunson. It went everywhere. They was asking about the Knicks because the Knicks were in the middle of a little win streak, and so they were like, what do you think about the Knicks? She's like, they're good. They just don't have a dude. You're like, well, what? They don't have a dude. They don't have a 1A dude. Like a guy who, and then one person, Kendrick Perkins, out to Kendrick Perkins, like, they do have a dude. His name is Jalen Brunson.
Right.
And she's like, he's too small. He's too small. Small guy can. And so after that clip has been played millions of times now that Jalen Brunson has took off. So.
And we do have a guy, and his name is Jesus. So
Well,
there we go. And there's a third one. And there's a third one.
You need the sounds on there. We hit the church organ.
Guys,
It's this one, right?
Maybe this one?
That's crazy.
That's for my
she
Rockets.
put on the crickets. The crickets during the sermon.
I think it's this one.
Come up here.
There you go.
God.
We'll take that one. That's the
Father,
harp.
Son, and Holy Spirit.
Oh, there we go.
Guys, I love it.
There we
Jalen
go.
Brunson, if you want to come to our church anytime.
Listen, invite is open, man. I'll pick him up.
I'll pick him up.
He said, "Nah, I'm good. I'm not gonna ride in your Honda Pilot."
We'll let them go to the train station. The Honda Pilot. Honda Pilot's crazy. Well, there's the train station. It's brand new.
We got a train station here in Rochester.
Yeah.
I did not know that. What does it look
Yeah.
like?
Like just a building.
Like the
No
Knicks,
idea.
the Knicks, like in 2002.
That's
like,
crazy. That's
But
wild.
have you seen the new like train station in New York City?
I haven't taken the train in about 6-7 years now.
Bougie. It's bougie now.
I know you don't gotta. They had the whole. You could swipe your phone to get through.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, then how about people take the bus? Let's go to the Greyhound and see what happens.
No, that's Greyhound is terrible. Greyhound is terrible.
Oh my god. Well, speaking of New York City, Santina.
Right. CJ, being from Brooklyn,
Yeah.
how do you navigate the rivalry between the Knicks fans and the Nets fans? I know
yeah.
you said no Ets.
Yeah,
Right.
it's a very easy rivalry. Ain't no Nets fans.
That's where I would be.
There's no Nets fans.
Nets fans, hello? Hello?
That's how Nets Arena sound when the Nets playing anybody but the Knicks. Like it's just quiet in
Still
there.
playing.
They have no fans. I mean, it takes a while for a fan base to be built.
Yeah.
Nets came from New Jersey. They tried to come over to Brooklyn. And I feel like it's just now they're realizing now that the Knicks are good.
Yep.
Like it was one thing when the Knicks were bad and the Nets were kind of good and it seemed like something. Even then it was hard. But now the Nets suck and the Knicks are good. I think their owners are looking like, what are we doing here? How
But
why, put us here?
Why not just leave them in Jersey?
They tried to make a money move. See, Jay-Z was part owner of the Nets at the time. And so he tried the whole, I'm going to bring them to my hometown. But that Knick, they
He's not even
grossly,
a coach.
no, for real. They grossly underestimated how powerful the Knicks were. Grossly underestimated because the Knicks had sucked for so long. I think people really forgot. And they got here and they like, man, now they stuck holding the bag and they got to figure something out.
And we got MSG.
We got MSG.
How do you also feel, CJ, about like celebrities owning or having partial ownership in basketball teams? Like, oh my God, what's his name? Owns part of the Mavs from Shark Tank.
Oh, Mark Cuban.
You met Mark Cuban, and then you said just Jay-Z still owns some part of.
See, now Jay-Z was part owner, so he sold his. Like, yo, I'm out of here.
Well, how do you feel about like celebrities who like? I guess, I mean, not all of them, but probably some of them are like, well, this is an opportunity for me to make the money rather than actually having the heart into the team.
Get your money, sis. I love it. Go get it.
Do what you got to do.
Yeah, if there's an opportunity for you to make more money, go for it. Like, I mean, obviously I'm not promoting nothing illegal. Somebody like, CJ said go for it. No, like if the opportunity presents itself, like that, a lot of people don't get that opportunity, and it is very lucrative. Yeah. So go for it. Go for it.
I'd be like, we need to make the tickets $50.
Make them free. A raffle.
They be like, I ain't getting the ownership to charge $50. Charge $50 after I sell my ownership. Right now we charging $1 million.
You guys got Klarna or Afterpay for me to put my shares on.
That'd be funny if billionaires had Klarna. Like, what is happening here?
Oh my God. Okay. Well, CJ, right?
Yes.
Looking at the current team, we know that there's a lot of good, not even good, great, amazing players.
Yep.
What are your hopes for the Knicks' future?
Yeah.
And are there any maybe particular drafts or trades that you feel like could even add, like to boost our roster?
Oh, so I'll say this. Right now, we get just say we come back next year with everyone who was hurt last year, but they're healthy. It's championship or bust for the Knicks. If we don't win a championship next year with all our guys that we had this year, right? Depending on what other moves other teams make. But that's how I feel. I feel that confident that we have a championship team right now.
Yeah.
9 times out of 10, you'll lose 1, 2, 3 guys. That's just how it works.
Right.
If we had to get somebody else right now. So for those who follow the whole Knicks, Jalen Brunson, Josh Hart, Dante DiVincenzo, so special between them because they played on the same college team, Villanova.
I never knew that.
And they won a championship together.
I love that.
And Villanova in college, and they've been best buddies ever since. There's one guy who was a part of that who's not part of the Knicks right now, and he's part of the Nets.
Wow.
He's actually on the Nets. And there's been like so many jokes. Like anytime they say he's looking at the Knicks across the pond, you know that the meme where the person's looking out the window.
Yeah.
And they just, I think it's a Squidward thing too. He like him looking at his Villanova brothers on the Knicks and while he's on the Nets.
Yep.
His name is Mikal Bridges. If Mikal Bridges, now help me with this because I don't watch Marvel and all the superhero stuff.
Right.
There's the big guy who has all the rings.
Thanos.
They say Knicks getting Mikal Bridges is like him getting the last.
The thumb ring.
What is that? What do they call the thing?
The Infinity Stones?
The Infinity, yes.
Yeah.
So he would be the last one. The last Infinity Stone.
And then snap in New York City's Gotham.
And it's over. If Knicks
me the trophy.
Listen, if Knicks get Mikal Bridges and have Jalen Brunson, Mikal Bridges, Josh Hart, Dante DiVincenzo, the Villanova boys who won the championship in Villanova and comes and win the championship in New York, that's like dream come true. All the stories.
Yep.
So if we could get Mikal Bridges like that, and he's we know how good Jalen Brunson is, so he's probably not. He's better than Dante DiVincenzo. He's better than Josh Hart. He's an all-star. He plays defense and offense.
And he's on the Nets.
He's on the Nets. He was the Nets star player. But the Nets just suck. They don't have a good team.
Right.
But if the Knicks get him, it's up. Oh, it's crazy.
God. Then what do you think Isaiah Hardenstein's doing while all of them are celebrating together? Do you think
he's
a Squidward? Like watching them like how they all like had
Get
like
that tracksuit back on, buddy.
Listen, you can't change history. I'm sure they all family now. They love it.
He's like, dang, all of them celebrating together.
Listen, Hardenstein might actually be the first person to come back. He's a free agent.
Isaiah,
they're about to sign him to a 4-year, $72 million deal. So
good, keep him. I like him.
Yeah, I love Hardenstein.
Yeah,
I love him.
too.
I love him.
Okay, CJ, last question. I think this has become Jeanine and I's favorite question we've asked.
Okay.
So if you could choose any cartoon character to be a coach for the Knicks, who would you choose?
Any cartoon character to be it. All right. Y'all probably have no idea who this even is.
Jessica Rabbit.
Y'all familiar with Johnny Quest?
Yes, the blonde guy.
Yeah,
with the glasses, black shirt, jeans.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
He's like this.
Yeah.
Yo, he's tough. But he's
Yo, hold on. So not him. His friend.
Not the friend. Yo, my friend likes you.
His friend is named. Oh man. Oh, this is gonna be so bad if I butcher this. Just because.
What was his name again?
Johnny Quest.
Okay.
But his friend, the show was called Johnny Quest, but he had a friend named Habib. I'm leaving. Yes,
Wait.
Yeah,
this kid?
Yes.
Let me see.
Yes.
Hey, I mean, for the culture.
He's a coach.
Listen, he talk about Zen. So Phil Jackson, one of the greatest coaches of all time, he had this thing called Zen. Habib, my guy, was Zen.
Yeah.
He started playing his little flute, and like the snake start coming out of his hat. It was some wild joint. I just feel like
the Knicks coach playing a flute the next
the thought is he can make weird things happen. That's my guy, Johnny Quest. They got a picture of Johnny Quest. He just pulled up. Listen, Habib, he could do anything. He could just do. So I just feel like the Knicks could be missing a shot. He do, and then the shot starts going in. Like, we want Habib. That's probably the worst cartoon character. Let me go back. Captain Planet. How about that? Captain Planet. Y'all know Captain Planet?
Who?
No.
Oh, man. Y'all know Johnny Quest and Habib? Y'all know Captain Planet. It's
what about
crazy.
Mr. Krabs?
Mr. Krabs? Tibbs, our current coach, is like Mr. Krabs.
Mr. Krabs.
What do you think about it? What do you think about it?
Oh my god, that was so funny.
Man.
What about Curious George? I think
Curious George. I forgot Curious George.
And wait, with his handler, like the guy with the yellow
hat. Yes.
She's like the mom of the team.
Yes. I love it.
Jessica Rabbit. I feel like she'd be great.
Yo, I just wish I knew more about Jessica Rabbit. I know who she is.
She a 10.
Have you seen Jessica Rabbit?
I've never seen Jessica Rabbit.
The girl with like the purple dress and the red lipstick and the red hair. She's who she works with the bunny.
You're describing this
The
person.
Bugs Bunny guy.
Only person coming to my mind is Hunger Games.
Roger Rabbit. Roger Rabbit. Hunger Games.
When you describe this person, I have no idea who that is. That's Jessica Rabbit?
Yeah.
Yo, she far.
Yeah. I said, whoa, they showing cartoons like that. What is happening?
Guys, can I dream body, please?
That is nuts.
Oh my god. Well, CJ,
Yes.
before we wrap up,
Yeah.
do you feel like you have any questions for us?
Oh God.
Anything that you want to lay on the table and discuss?
Ooh. What I'm listen, this might be kind of deep. It's not deep.
That's
I don't
fine.
think it's deep. Your dream for this podcast, Girls Going Sports. What's your dream?
Should we tell them how it started, Jeanine?
I'm all ears. I want to know.
I'm sitting there. All of a sudden, I get a text message from Jeanine. Hey, do you want to start a podcast about sports? Didn't even give me a chance to reply. Oh, I already got the microphones for it. So you can just come over. I was like, okay.
I love our podcast.
Yeah, it's a lot of fun.
Would you get any if you had a woman athlete? Which female athlete would you want?
Well,
I kind of would.
Serena Williams.
I was like, does Zendaya in the new Challengers movie count?
Wow.
I was gonna say I would like Venus. Like that's just like
the
sisterly bond. Like so you have the love of your sport and the love of being a sister together. You put that like that kind of like ambition and like drive. Like I love that.
We got to get Venus and Serena on the podcast then.
I know.
We got to make it happen. We got to make it happen.
You want to talk?
We just got to text them after.
Send them a text. Listen, I'll FaceTime. I got some people who know some people. I'll FaceTime.
Speaking, CJ, first we want to thank you so much.
Thank you
Thank
so
you
much
for
being
having
here.
me.
I hope this is applause.
I think it's
Let's
that
see.
one.
Okay, let's see.
Oh man! You know, I thought it was gonna be a trick. Like you hit the boo on purpose and be crazy. Nah, I love being here. I love the conversation. Y'all made it super easy. This is good. I hope whatever y'all dream is for the podcast, y'all reach it. Y'all crush it. Y'all suppress it.
you,
And
CJ.
Venus and Serena's on your 100th episode.
Thank you.
To make it crazy.
And we just say we're two girls who know something ish about sports.
And still learning.
Yeah, you're always a learner.
That's all you need.
Yeah.
That's
we
all
love
you
it.
need.
Well, thank you guys so much for listening to episode 15. Again, thank you so much, CJ, for coming on to our podcast. If you want to follow us along, make sure to go to our Facebook page, Girls Gone Sports. You can also follow us on Instagram, Girls Gone Sports Pod. Please like and subscribe to our YouTube page, and you can find us on anywhere that you stream your podcast. YouTube, Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Amazon. Search us in Google, and you'll find us. You'll find us there. Yeah.
Just search.
Just search on. Search on. Well, thank you for tuning in. Until next time, we have been Girls Gone Sports Podcast.
Girls, they wanna have fun. Oh, girls just wanna have